Welcome to Tools of the Trade, where each episode will take a subject which a medium would use to help him to connect to the spirit world. In this episode we will be doing Ouija boards. The Ouija board is also known as a talking board or a spirit board. Ouija board generally will look like a square. It will have numbers, the alphabet, it will have yes and no. Each board is designed differently and you have different types of boards. But the basic mainstream of a Ouija board is square, has the alphabet, yes and no, and numbers from 9 to 0. The Ouija board evolved from automatic writing, which was originally started in China in 1100 AD, I believe. The Ouija board, what we know nowadays, was commercialised by a gentleman called Elijah Bond in 1890. Obviously it was regarded as a parlour game. It was not related to any occults or anything like that whatsoever. It was just a game.
Lizzie Allen right about this house? Or is she wrong as usual? Look, it's moving. Shh. C-E-G-O.
So basically Elijah Bond used the Ouija board as a money maker. Now in 1891 it cost $1.50 for a Ouija board, which was a lot of money then. So Elijah actually did make a lot of money from it. When he died, William Fuld took over the business with the Ouija boards. He had a tendency to claim the history of the Ouija board, claiming that he created it. He was very protective over it, suing anybody who come up with the same sort of idea and the same pattern, and he sued them. Now strangely enough, Fuld died in 1927. When consulting the Ouija board, it told him to build his factory, and he actually died very strange, freakishly, on the top of that. Makes you think. The actual name Ouija comes from the words from French and German saying yes. So that's an interesting fact about that. Strangely enough, they were very popular after the Civil War, where a lot of people wanted to talk to the loved ones that were passed over. And as time went by, there was more of an increase when it was the First World War and the Second World War. Do bear in mind, this was created as a parlour game. Strangely enough, the popularity of this actual board relies on death, really, if you think about it, and wars was the main part which made it so popular. Everyone wanted to connect towards their loved ones and people who they knew who passed over. Now, years ago, Ouija boards were not classed as anything that was scary. It was classed as a parlour game. Strangely enough, the Exorcist made it taboo. The exact same as what Joe's done for sharks.
Wait a minute, you need to.
No, you don't. I do it all the time.
Oh, yeah? Well, let's both play with it. You really don't want me to play, huh?
No, I do. Captain Howdy said no.
There is actually nothing wrong with a Ouija board. Before this one film, it was never seen as a scary instrument. It seemed to be an instrument that used to help people to communicate to the spirit world. Obviously nowadays it's a feature in most horror films, which were Ouija board and The Conjuring, etc., stuff like that. And it's just made it a taboo. But it will come back probably in another 10-15 years. Now we've got a bit of the history out of the way of the Ouija board. I'm going to talk about my own personal experiences with Ouija boards and how many years I've been using them myself. I've always found them interesting. It's a bit like, you know, it validates things what you are saying. So i.e. if you're talking to people and saying, I've got your dad here and his name's John, etc., and if that person comes on the board and validates more to the actual person who you're talking to, i.e. you went to this school or we had a dog called John or whatever, or Skip, and if that comes up with the people and total different people who are with the person on the board, then it does actually make you think. I've had numerous different spirits that have come towards me in the Ouija board. I must admit, none of them have been what I would call dreadful spirits. They seem to be nice enough people. It's usually the families they want to talk to, the children or their husbands or their wives. So personally I've never had any problems with them, but I have heard of people who have had problems with them because they are not using them correctly, and you must use it correctly. Always remember, it's easier for a medium who can actually see people entering in and out of this spirit world and who are coming to the board, so it does make it a lot easier for myself to do, because I know if there's anything bad what's there or anything what's good there, I know how to protect myself and other people who are with me. So therefore it is a good tool for myself personally. Over the years there's been many different types of boards, angel boards, etc., demon boards, etc., stuff like that. Now we'll just go over a few of them. As you can see here, this is an angel board. These are the names of all the archangels. This is the sidrins of the angels' names. This is the rose cross. And all these different sigils will give the name of the actual archangels what are there. This part of the rose here is designed so you can get the name of your own angel. Very difficult in the point that there's that many different types of angels. Obviously you have your archangels, you have guardian angels, we have all various sorts of angels, which we will obviously be talking about in another program. This particular one was designed and made by my son Jason, who does a lot of study into different types of boards. He checks all the Hebrew for them. This one is one of the finer ones, as I would say. A lot of this originates from the book of Enoch, and a lot of obviously the archangels are from the book of Enoch as well, and that's what this basically comes from. This one's handmade. It takes up to a week and a half to do because the writing has to be done, the scribes have to be proper, but it is a very nice board, one of my favourites. Obviously this particular board here is tailor-made for me because it goes into more details of archangels, the elements, the protection of it. A general angel board, you wouldn't have anything like this on it. You wouldn't have the writings and all the different names of the different archangels. This particular board, you won't get it anywhere else. It's specially made by myself and my son, who does all the hard work on it. He actually makes them. I don't really, but I like to say that. So if you do want one, buy it through the shop or buy it through message me, and I'm sure he'd be pleased to make one for you. Now we're going to go on to the next board, which is a total different board from the angel board. This particular board is a demon board. Now, this is from the Key of Solomon, the lesser keys. Each and everything in here is the Hebrew names of demons. One demon has been left off it because I won't even use this board, and this is just basically just for decoration really. Unless you're a really high qualified medium and you are a demonologist, that's the only way I would put the actual last name on. This is serious business. This is not a toy. Compared to the other ones, this is really serious. So we have to be very careful with this board, because the inner circle here is protection for you to call the demon up, and really we know you shouldn't be doing that sort of thing. That's why this particular one, we have left the last sigil demon's name off it, because we don't want to have serious trouble. But as a decoration piece, it looks fantastic. I know there's one name I'm missing. Obviously, as I said, unless you were a demonologist or you were really heavily into it, you'd probably know which demon's name was left off at. But this also can be made. It does take a week to make them because of all the writing, all the Hebrew and all the inner circles. So as we can see, these two here are the magical triangles of Solomon, and that's the magical circle of Solomon, where the person who is doing the Ouija board will be protected inside these realms. The planchette, as you can see here, strangely enough has two different colours. One is silver, one is gold. The reason why we have two different colours in this silver and gold is because some demons prefer silver, some prefer gold, and it's basically like giving an offering to them. That's really what it is. Very heavy duty board, very scary. So we'll move on to another board, which is more of a basic board. Now we're coming on to the next board, and this particular board is one which I've designed myself, and everything has been hand drawn on it, so it's an original. In the back of it gives you all the instructions how to use it, what prayer to use. I refer to this as the crystal board because the crystal energy is not corrupted. It's a clear, lovely energy that will spread through and protect the people who are using the board. As any board, as you know, obviously you have to do everything correctly in it, the proper prayers to be said, the proper protection on it, and when you leave the board, say goodbye to them as well. Now, I found this one particularly useful myself. I have used it on a number of occasions. To be honest with you, I've only made a certain amount of them, so I think I've only got about 10 left. So it is quite different. It is a very spiritual board because each board I bless and I say a prayer onto it, and the same as the crystal to protect who's ever using it. Okay? But don't disrespect the board, do not be nasty towards the board, and do not try and summon any evil spirits up on the board. If you stick to that, everything will be fine. As I said, don't mess with it, don't disrespect it. It is unique because there's no other crystal board, no other design like that. No one else is using the power of the crystal and of using the design of this and the protection symbols on it as well. And no one else who I'm aware of who is a medium does a prayer over the board as well. So it is highly protected. These you can get from me, it's not a problem. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. I found it very interesting myself. The next time we'll be taking a different subject of tools of the trade what a medium would use. Hope you enjoyed the show. If you did like it, could you please like and subscribe? And then that way more people will come and see what we're doing, and it will make mediumship more interesting for everybody. Thank you very much.